Greetings, beloveds. This is Amy Caryn Johnson, the Earth Channel, here with you today with a message for this week, the last week of August, and continuing the series on the channels in human design, focusing on the 2946 channel this week. If you would like to see if you or anyone else you know has this channel defined in their natal charts, you may run a free chart at humandesignamerica.com/chart. The 29th gate is in the sacral center, and we do not have any definition there this week, but it is what I consider to be the lion's gate, which is where the sun was just last week. The sun is still in Leo, but in different gates now, the 40th gate in particular right now. And we have Mercury in the 46th gate, which is where the sun will be when we come to the equinox later in September. The 46th gate is located in the Diamond Heart Center, known in human design as the G Center. And since the channel is undefined and there are no other channels defined leading to either of these centers this week, they are both white or open for the chart this week. When the Diamond Heart Center is open or white in a chart, you may feel sometimes as though you don't have consistent access to love, at least in your younger years. However, one of the main reasons I am making this series of videos on these channels is to help you access these energies anytime you want, including these channels that are associated with love, especially for yourself, self-love. The 46th gate in particular is associated in the I Ching, which is where these gates come from. The 64 hexagrams, that is. This particular one, the 46, is associated with pushing upward. And the 29th gate in the sacral center is associated with abyss, the abyss. And so even though at times it might seem like these words mean something negative, let me assure you that there is a high expression for all of them, as well as a lower expression for all of them. And when I share with you the energies and the essence and the poem in particular this week for these channels, that will help you access the highest expression for these channels. The sacral center, when it is undefined in a birth chart in particular, may make you feel as though you don't always have access to consistent energy, especially the most powerful energy, since this is the most powerful motor center in the body. Starting next week, however, FYI, this center, the sacral center, will be defined for everyone by the nodes of the moon because they are changing gates. And the 34 and the 20th gate, those are the two that will be defined by these nodes of the moon, which we will get into much more next week. And these particular gates, this is a channel that is unlike some of the other channels in the chart, where these two gates within the same channel are opposite of each other, as are the nodes of the moon. So that is why this whole channel will be defined for the almost 4 months when the nodes of the moon are in those positions, in those gates. And so to share with you the essence of the 2946 channel and help you to access these energies whenever you like, it is a really intense energy that will come next week. The energy this week is much calmer. So we invite you to really cherish it this week and give yourself some rest as much as possible. So here is the poem for you. The waning lion fans out onto the plain, yielding to the fertile crescent moon, while mums like stars shine their last refrain, and purple finches peck and gather boons. Now I invite you to join me in closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths to connect with Mother Earth, Gaia, for her message. Hello, this is Gaia. As Amy shared in her poem, and as is the case for you all right now, if you're listening to this message within the week in which it was created, the moon is waning, and there is a bit of a calm before the storm as next week begins a fairly intense period of almost 4 months where there will be quite a bit of work happening and inspired and a lot of energy. So give yourself the gift of rest this week. And get ahead of the energy that is coming by enjoying some calm contemplation, meditation, which you can do while listening to this message, while listening to any guided meditation, while sitting, while lying down. And by starting now, you should hopefully be able to continue this practice in the next 4 months when the energies get more intense as well. Try to find a comfortable position. As we said, either sitting or lying down, potentially even standing. However, that may not be as conducive as sitting or lying down for the particular practice we are going to share with you today. Although we will get into it much more deeply next week, the nodes of the moon, although they will be defining these powerful channels, this powerful channel known as the manifesting generator channel in human design, and as we said, inspire a lot of work. Some of that work will have to do with detachment, because that is what the nodes of the moon bring with them. They are known as Rahu and Ketu in Vedic astrology, and Rahu represents the head and Ketu the body of a serpent, detached from each other by the god Vishnu and in opposite ends of the sky. And so Ketu in particular, representing the spine, loves meditation. And so if you find any of the energies challenging in the coming months, meditation is a great way to remedy or otherwise deal with those energies. There is great benefit from stilling the spine, finding a position that is comfortable enough where the spine can be held straight and still, as well as the eyes. Especially with the coming energy, the eyes are representative of Rahu, the head, and when you can close them and either look straight ahead, as if into the distance, you may begin to see lights behind your eyelids, colors, or if you begin to feel drowsy and perhaps even fall asleep. It's okay to fall asleep, but to really enjoy the benefits most from this practice, you may want to raise your gaze a little bit above straight ahead, which will help to energize the spine, which may not be a challenge in the coming months to energize the spine, but it may be a little bit of a challenge this week with the calmer energies. So whatever feels best to you. But when you are able to still the spine and the eyes, a great sense of peace will come over you, even if just for a moment. And the more you can realize and recognize that sense of peace coming over you, the more you will want to do this practice. It will give you the equanimity needed to choose best how to act in any situation. What needs to be let go of, released, and what is best to hold on to. And by letting go, it can seem to the ego like a kind of death. And so to the ego, that can feel scary. And yet let us assure you that who and what you are is a luminous, eternal being of love and light that never dies. As you ascend into the fifth dimension, the gross physical cells, molecules, and atoms of your body will become more crystalline and more luminous, and yet even that body will not last forever. Only the luminous, light-filled being of love that you truly are is eternal and infinite. And that is what you become more and more aware of as you meditate with your spine straight and still, as well as your eyes. You may begin with your awareness of this luminous being around the physical body you are wearing in this lifetime. But then we encourage you from there to feel it expand. Feel your awareness expand beyond your body, out into your room in which you may find yourself, or out into the nature in which you may find yourself. And even beyond the distance at which you can see, beyond the horizon until you can encompass the whole earth and feel your unity with us, the whole world, Gaia. And in this place, you can recognize that each and every person on this planet, at their core, is a being of love. And while that love may have many different expressions, in the fact that we are love, we are the same, and we are one. And if you would like, you can even expand your sense of identity and awareness beyond the earth, throughout the solar system, throughout the galaxy, throughout the universe, and even the multiverse. There are no limits in truth. Deep breath. Let it go. Come back and listen to our description of this practice as often as you would like. Thank you so much for joining us. Namaste, beloveds.